Our next story is about modern warfare, or rather, warfare in the near future. For a while now, drones have taken over the battlefield. There are the heavy hitters, like the American MQ-9 Reaper or the Turkish TB2 Bayraktar. These have been around for a while, but now we're seeing smaller drones dominate the arena, like the infamous Iranian Shaheds. These are relatively cheap, one-time use drones, and they've been used to devastating effect in Ukraine. So countries are scrambling to come up with an effective counter. And it seems the world is turning to laser weapons for that. Israel has its Iron Beam. The US has a laser called the HELIOS. Even India is building one. It's dubbed the Durga 2 project. And now the UK is rushing forward in this laser race with its new weapon, the DragonFire. Here's our report.
Drone warfare has barely taken off. But are its days already numbered? Because there's a new defense system on the way. A system that'll bring kamikaze drones down in the middle of their final flight. We're talking about anti-drone lasers. Now, the technology has been around for a while, but they used to be considered impractical for warfare. Laser weapons cannot incinerate your enemies. They can't melt a hole through an approaching tank. Best case scenario, they melt a thin metal casing and overheat some sensors. At millions of dollars per laser, that isn't the biggest bang for your buck. So then why are laser weapons everywhere these days? The most famous is arguably Israel's Iron Beam. The laser's intensity can reach 100 kilowatts. It has a range of about 7 kilometers. Then there's the US. The American Army has the Directed Energy Maneuver Short-Range Air Defense System, shortened as the M-SHORAD, not the catchiest of names. But the American Navy remedies that. Their laser weapon is called the HELIOS, which stands for High Energy Laser with Integrated Optical Dazzler and Surveillance. These are 50 kilowatt prototypes that are already being deployed for field testing. The British have the DragonFire. And today, Britain's Defence Secretary Grant Shapps made an announcement. The DragonFire is going to be tested in the field next month by the British Navy and the Army. The UK has also brought forward the expected date of deployment. Shapps said it'll now be by 2027 at the latest, 5 years ahead of the original rollout date. Does that mean Britain has perfected their so-called world-leading laser weapon? No. Shapps says there's a new defense procurement process. The goal is no longer to get it to 99.9% ready and then deploy. Shapps said the UK plans to get it to sort of 70% and then get it out there and then develop it from there. So it'll be perfected in the field. But if it won't be ready, why the rush? Well, because of the enormous potential benefits and the cost saving. These anti-drone lasers are expensive to develop, but once they're installed, they are cheap to use. Apparently, one laser shot from the DragonFire costs £10, about $13. Compare that to the anti-aircraft missiles being used to blow up drones. Shapps says a single missile costs about £1.5 million, almost 2 million USD. It's the same situation in the US, with each Standard Missile 2 used by the US Navy costing $2 million. Now, this still makes sense for your Predators or Bayraktars, but not against a kamikaze drone like the Iranian Shahed 136. It's about $200,000 to buy one of these from Iran, and between $20,000 to $50,000 to make it yourself. So one anti-aircraft missile costs 40 to 100 times more than one of these kamikaze drones. But the anti-drone lasers will turn the tables. $13 versus even a $20,000 drone is a steal. The lasers even come out on top against homemade drones, like the $300 drones Ukraine has developed to fight Russia. So anti-drone lasers could change the face of warfare yet again. That's the reason for the laser scramble, to protect both your skies and your budget.